So welcome everyone to Satsang, which as you know is Sanskrit for the company of the truth. So I'm your host, Mataji Katie Augustyn, and I'm the spiritual head of the Transformation Center CT, which is based in Westport, Connecticut. And we have various workshops, trainings, classes here. We also have in-person satsang now that we're doing monthly, as well as the Zoom version. And we've been doing it socially distanced in the backyard. And it's been very nice because the weather's been cooperative. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, and we'll have some other announcements at the end about things that are coming up, and other people may have stuff to share that they're aware of, that they want everybody to know about. Yeah, so before we start, I also want to introduce my co-host tonight, and one of them is Radha, Kathy French, who thank you for being here again. Couldn't do it without you, for sure. And Radha is spiritual head of the Mahavatar Babaji Mystery School of New England. And right now she's in Rochester. She also has her own practice. She's a healer, she's a coach, she's a teacher, she's a leader. And her private practice is called Loving Kindness Healing. So that's her website, lovingkindnesshealing.com. You can find her there. She also comes down and does classes with us here at the Transformation Center, different workshops and classes. So hopefully you can meet her in person pretty soon. Yeah. Thank you. Also, I'd like to introduce Nalini God, and she is a self-mastery shamanic practitioner, intuitive, and a business coach for spiritual entrepreneurs, and I love that. And her business is called Nalini Shamanic Divination Healing, which is also online at that URL. So welcome, Nalini. Thank you for making an effort and perfect timing to be here tonight. We appreciate your presence. And you're going to lead us in the chanting. So that's always a huge contribution. All right, so again, we're going to get started now with Radha, who's going to offer Arati to get us started. Thank you, Radha.
Arati is an ancient ceremony, and the translation from Sanskrit means the waving of the lights. So with each waving of the light, we're asking that our own light within us be kindled. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jaya.
Beautiful. Thank you. Love that. You do that so well.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So you guys know that I put out there a topic for tonight, and you know, it's an old teaching, and it's one that is really, I think, critically important for us to fully embrace if we do want to be very clear and lead the life that we want with freedom and joy. And that teaching is, don't take anything personally. You know, and it sounds like, oh yeah, right. What does that mean? Well, that's what we're gonna talk about. It's been coming up for me a lot lately, so I thought it might be coming up for you as well. So before we start talking about it, Radha has a story that she wants to share with us to really kind of touch our heart and get us in that place, right?
Okay. Yeah, this actually happened, I don't know, sometime within the last 50 years. One of the greatest gurus to grace our planet in the 20th century was Baba Muktananda. And he had quite a following in the United States and also in India. And his guru was Bhagwan Nityananda. who is another very, very great being. Well, Baba's ministry and his guruhood was going beautifully until one day it kind of hit a snag, and there was some gossip that was going around, and things just were not going smoothly for our friend Baba. And so he decided to consult with his guru, Bhagwan Nityananda. And contrary to the way Bhagwan usually acted, he decided to actually speak with Baba, and he said, "Come with me." And the two of them walked down the street to a very small little cemetery. And Bhagwan said to Baba, "I would like you to praise everyone here." And Baba looked around, and all there were headstones. And he said, "Praise everyone here?" And he said, "Yes, everyone who's here in the ground, I want you to praise them." So Baba got up and spoke beautifully and praised all the beings that were buried there in the cemetery. He went on at great length, and really the praise just flowed. Blessings flowed. It was a beautiful experience. When Baba finished, he turned to his guru looking for further instruction, and Bhagwan turned to him and said, "And now I would like you to insult them." And Baba said, "Okay." And he then turned to the buried congregation there and proceeded to insult every single one of them. On and on and on he went with insults and diatribes, and he just went on and on at great length. And when he concluded, silence there in the cemetery, and Baba turns to his guru and says, "Master," and Baba's guru says to him, "When you can respond to whatever anyone says, as all of these beings just responded to your praise and your insults, then you'll really be onto something."
Love that. I mean, it's great that it's a true story too, because I mean, this is what, we're all living through this right now. And how do we do that? How does that come about? So I think that's something that we want to explore. But before we do that, I was thinking back, and I don't know, I mean, one thing that inspired me for the topic tonight, not only was that it was coming up a lot in my life, but I don't know how many people actually read the little book, The Four Agreements. And, I'd knew the Four Agreements from a while ago, but I'd never actually read the book. So I would recommend definitely reading it. And then I was thinking about, where does this come from? This belief that that we should be affected, by what other people say, that we should take things personally, And I realized that it's really because, we had examples in our lives as we were growing up that that's how people behaved. We saw other people acting as though everything was about them. That they were really, like the center of the world. So I think we naturally emulated that. We naturally thought, well, everything's about us, So when somebody says something to us, that's what it's about us. We should be affected by what they say, without realizing that it's actually, it's from their belief system, their for forming, the way they grew up, what they believed, their whole, all the programming that they got. It's now coming out and going to you, but it's really still about them. So that was kind of the underlying basis for all of this. So when somebody says something to us that's either good or bad, like the example we were just hearing about Baba, that it's not about what's happening to us, it's about what the other person is feeling. So it's like, what they're looking through the lens of their issues or their shortcomings. So maybe they're expressing something that they don't like about themselves. So it's not about whatever it is they're saying to you, it's about what is in their head already about themselves or something that happened to them way back when. So I think that's kind of the genesis of thinking about it, and that's in your head, right? So if you need something to like explain it, I think that's a good place to start. What do you think, Radha?
Yeah, I mean, I'm struck with this idea that we need external validation, that we get kind
Mm.
of primed for that early in our lives, and how, and we aren't trained to seek that validation, that inner knowing, that inner confidence,
Yeah.
that regardless of what happens or how it looks, we're fine. We're fine. Like, I don't ever remember anybody telling me that, or, and it took me a while to get myself to believe it too, when I got onto this idea that you're talking about, that I'm really okay, but I've got this issue and that issue and that, whatever. That's an easy place for me to go to. Like, resting that I'm okay, good, bad, right or wrong. Like, there's a fundamental okayness in each of our beings, regardless of, that we can become unshakable.
Right, right, right. I think that is the journey. And this is something that it happens as we evolve. I think it happens naturally, but it can also be a very explicit, you know, you can put some effort into it. You can really start to let it affect you in a way that really helps, every day.
Mm-hmm.
The way because I think part of this is about not taking anything personally. It's also not believing what you're telling yourself, which is kind of what you were saying, right?
Yeah, unless you're telling yourself something that's really truly helpful. I
Right.
mean,
How often does that happen, right?
a new habit is born.
Yeah, yeah, right. And I think, but it's like the everyday stuff that we can stop and um, notice when we're doing something like for example, I think back to all the times when I may be angry at somebody and lash out, and pretty quickly I'll realize, wait a minute, I'm not angry at them, I'm angry at myself for that stupid thing I did a little while ago. And then you go, wait a minute, why am I telling myself I'm stupid? So you start to notice pretty quickly when you're going down that path or that rabbit hole. And it also reminds me of all the times that um, you guys might have this happen when, like, somebody asked you, like when my husband asked me, why are you mad at me? What did I do? And I'm startled because, wait a minute, I'm not mad at you. Why do you think I'm mad at you? He said, well, what you just said. And I'm like, well, what did I say? Because I'm not even thinking about him. It's not even about him. It's like something that, went wrong in my day, or I'm, stressed about something. And it's like, why does he think I'm mad at him? Where did he get that? I don't know. Has that ever happened to you, Nalini? What do you think?
Uh, yeah, it's interesting. So my sun sign is in Leo, so it's hard to tell me that the world doesn't revolve around me. Um, and then I have a rising sign in Cancer, which means I have a tendency to take everything very personally.
Yeah.
So what I started doing was making it a game. Um, and I'll just ask questions. So it's like, if my mom yelled at me for not doing the dishes, I'm like, would she always yell at me for not doing the dishes? Or maybe is she in a bad mood? Like, is it possible that my boss has a stomach ache today and that's why he's being so cranky? Like, I play the what if game to like try to find a different scenario that can give me some relief in how I'm feeling, because really there's just a reaction happening or some stuck energy. So that's another thing I'll do. I'll just breathe the energy out, because all of the mechanical thoughts that are popping into my head of like, oh, is this my fault? Like, oh, that person's so mad at me. Like, none of those are really something that matter. It's just releasing the energy, and then the thoughts get released with it. So I make it into a game.
I think that's brilliant because, you know, that's, it works, I'm sure, right? I mean, it sounds like it would be effective.
Yeah, at least it distracts me from the bad feelings.
Yeah. And it, well, and it also, you know, brings up another thing that I thought about. It's like, it can allow us to have compassion for the person that we think, you know, is making us feel bad, like making us wrong. So instead of like taking on their energy or their hurt or their pain or whatever reason, you know, they're feeling that way, then we can look at them, like you said, you know, maybe my boss is not having a good day or whatever it was, you know, you said, or my mom has a headache, or, you know, it really allows us to see somebody in a very compassionate way.
Yeah, and then speak to that, you know, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I mean, like receiving someone not as an opposition, but to try and support that person who said something we're not particularly happy with. You know, and that takes some you know, it depends on the situation. Sometimes we can genuinely do that, and sometimes we can't. You know, the closer and more difficult the situation, it's harder. But to own whatever the situation is lets the other person off the hook in a way to be free to shift their state. Am I
Yeah,
making any sense?
totally. It can completely disarm a situation if you just take a pause and you say, "Hey, is everything okay?" Like really show that compassion and that care and come into the other person's shoes. Like there's been times where I'm just like, "Are you all right right now?" Like, and not like sarcastically, but really like, "Is everything all right with you?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's great. It really does shift the whole dynamic, you know, because it's not about, you know, I think our tendency is to feel, you know, we're offended when somebody says something. That's our first, at least I think it's typical. You're offended, and then when you're offended, then you get defensive, and then it becomes about making yourself right and making the other person wrong. And before you know it, you're like in a conflict, like a real argument. And,
Right.
and you don't even know where that started sometimes. You know, I think that's happened to me, not really recently, but where I'm like, what were we arguing about? You know, it can get really crazy because, I mean, have you ever noticed that it's really hard to act snappy or short or you know, irritated with somebody else when you're feeling really good about yourself, or you're having a great day, things are going well, you're happy, you know, everything's conducive, you're in flow. It's really hard to be kind of ugly or mean or snappy with somebody. And then I think the converse is true. It's kind of hard to be nice and pleasant and, you know, loving when you're feeling really, really, you know, stressed or bad about yourself. Like you feel like you screwed up something and, you know, you're annoyed at yourself. It's hard to be really nice initially.
It is. It's true. Yeah, when we're at our best, we do our best. You know, when we're feeling good about ourselves, then that's when the goodness flows more easily. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I think that's really, you know, part of our job is to realize when we're not feeling our best that we can, you know, shift our state, and then our job is to bring the best out in the other person. So if we perceive that they're not feeling, you know, whatever is causing it, they're not feeling good, and then we can now, you know, look at that and say, you know, like to ourselves, say, how can I help this person, you know, shift? So it's like there's a way to approach it, like I think you were describing earlier, both of you guys, like bring out the best in that person. allow them to express what's underneath, what's really going on.
Yeah. One of the teachings that I lean on a lot is people need love the most when they deserve it the least. And sometimes I can rise to the occasion of, bringing love to a situation. Sometimes I can't, but at least I've got the knowing that that's what can really change a situation.
Yeah, that's beautiful, especially with what's going on now. We're not going to get into all of that and what's happening in the world or in our country. We could be here for many, many, many hours, but just to know that, just to have that teaching be part of your life, I think that's wonderful. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, that was great. Well, this little time went by fast. Unless Radha or Nalini, if you have anything else you want to just share, bring up before we move on to the next.
The only thing that occurs to me is that I think one of the greatest practices we can do is to be good to ourselves, to really nurture that light within us, to really get familiar with it, to love ourselves fully. And then we can more easily just seek refuge there, to live from that place of love and light. And then we feel better, and then we're much more freed up to help everybody else do the same if they're interested.
Yeah, no, that's a really good reminder. Yeah, thank you. And that's part of what all of our spiritual practices are about, is exactly that. To get to that part of ourselves that is pure love. That's really what we are, and we just have to keep reminding ourselves and doing practices that allow us to experience it for ourselves rather than just have somebody tell it to us.
Yeah, true.
All right, well, thank you. All right, now we have a real treat in store because Radha once again has offered to do a guided visualization for us. So she'll let you know when she's ready to start, and I'm going to put myself on mute. Thank you, Radha.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so just get yourselves comfortable wherever you are. Taking a deep breath in, hold it to the count of 7, and then exhale through the mouth, releasing, relaxing, letting go. Another deep breath in through the nose, and hold it to the count of 7. And then exhale through the mouth, releasing, relaxing, letting go. And one last time. Deep breath in through the nose, and hold it to the count of 7. And then exhale through the mouth, releasing, relaxing, letting go. And feel the field of peace that surrounds you. Feel an undulating equilibrium, completely enveloping you, almost as if you were in an egg, being nourished and nurtured by peace and equipoise. Feel the all rightness of your world. Feeling yourself being nourished and nurtured by peace, love, and equipoise. Breathe and open. And feel beautiful rays radiating from your head. The rays of light of your own enlightenment. Radiating out. Beams of love, equilibrium, and peace. Feeling your throat begin to open. Feeling the love in your heart flowing up to your throat. Nourishing and nurturing the words you speak. Feeling your thought patterns radiating out through your crown, through your head. As a beautiful beam of light descends from the heavens like a liquid waterfall of light flowing down through the center of your crown. Feel it washing over your brain. Feeling the cells there awakening, becoming enlivened and enlightened. And feel an explosion of light like a supernova, electrifying your thought, making it holy, sacred, and divine. And see those beams of light that move out, radiate out from your head like a corona, becoming more potent, more empowering of others. Feel the wisdom that is radiating out from your head, like the halos in the paintings of the holy ones. Feel the sacredness and the holiness of the things you think. It's as if everything you think is being upgraded and downloaded with light, heavenly thought, wisdom. Feel yourself just being in a flow of wisdom and love, peace, compassion, and understanding. It fills your head, the thoughts you think. It influences the things you see. Feel the light pouring from your eyes as you can now see with compassion. Feel the grace flowing through your vision, allowing you to see people for their very best self and for who they truly are. Feeling your sinuses opening, the air moving through your nasal passages as you smell a fragrance of the sweetest perfume. The Garden of Eden graces your nostrils. Sense that perfume. As we now move down into your mouth, feeling the energy shift across your tongue, gums, soft palate, hard palate, your teeth, the tissues and fluids there, graced by love, compassion, understanding. Feeling your mouth be the melting pot of the light that flows from above and the light that arises from your heart, that when you speak, beauty arises. And in your silence speaks a most eloquent tone. And feel the energy in your ears awakening, allowing you to hear that which you need to hear. Feeling all of your senses evolving so that you are in a space of knowing what's going on around you, but being unaffected by it because you see the light, the grace, and your own path forward. Feeling the light of your future destiny. Connecting to your heart like a tractor beam, drawing you forward. It's only the light that you see, the light that you speak, the light that you hear, that you smell, that you feel. This egg that you're in is educating you, awakening you, blessing you and healing you. Feel old energies flowing down and away from you, being transmuted into colors of light, filling the nourishing egg that surrounds you. Liquid light. Feel your energy centers at your crown opening, being purified. The vibration rising. The energy center between your eyebrows, awakening, allowing you to see into the future, the past, deeply into the present, with equilibrium, with compassion, and with a deep knowing. And at the base of the skull, the moon chakra opening, being cleansed and illuminated, so that you may hear the voice of the divine, that it may guide you, that it seeks you out always, supporting you, inspiring you, believing in you. And the chakra, the energy center at the base of the throat, feel how much more enriched it is now, having combined the light from the heart and the light from above, inspiring your speech, saturating your silence, the light in your heart, shining forth, warm, loving, and caring, compassionate and wise. Feel how complete you feel as these energy centers open and guide you, surround you, inform you, allow you to experience life at its very best, regardless of circumstance. As your third chakra, the solar plexus, now receives the light, glowing yellow gold, your will being purified, your will coming into alignment with divine will, feeling yourself in at one-ment with the highest and the best that you have to offer. And down to the second chakra in the lower belly, your emotional body, your inner child. Feel the happiness there. See your inner child comforted, nourished and nurtured, feeling safe and secure. And if you don't, send love there. Soothe that inner child. Soothe those emotions. Feeling the energy from high above you, paying special attention here. And feel the awakening of love in each of your chakras. Love and compassion as the lower energies fall away. And now the first chakra, at the floor of the perineum, your survival center, sending love and acceptance, soothing, compassion. As the light here makes the red color of that chakra more vibrant, more alive. Feel your vitality, your excitement at living your life. Be reawakened within you as the energy flows down your legs, the energy filling your arms, filling your whole body. The alchemical dance of these chakras, the light of love and acceptance. And feel in your heart what a remarkable being you are. See yourself as God sees you, a special creation, someone he truly loves. Oh, the dreams he has for you. May you be blessed as others are blessed by you. Feel the blessings flowing over you now, similar to the way that snowflakes fall, just for the delight of it. Blessing after blessing, kissing you, landing gently, melting into your beingness. Just for you. Wonderful, beautiful, radiant you. Feeling other things falling away. Whatever you no longer need, as you allow yourself to ascend into your true beingness. Perfect, just as you are, whatever your opinion of yourself. Feel the delight, the beauty and the grace of you. 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 And send this beautiful radiance that you are out to wherever you would like it to land, where it's most needed, to a friend in need, a child, to someone who maybe needs a helping hand, to a place that you particularly love and adore. Feel yourself like a star in the sky, shining for the delight of it, available to whoever needs that light for inspiration, for a touchstone, for companionship. Feel how useful your life is, the light that you are. Know that you've inspired others, comforted others. feel the love and appreciation flowing from wherever back to you, like the breath, as whatever we send out, it returns. Breathing in the light, sending out the light. Breathe in the light and breathe out the light. May God bless you. Amen. And slowly and gently bring yourself back to the room where we're going to be doing some chanting. I love you. I really, really love you.
Wow, that was quite something. Radha, thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Feel so uplifted. Oh wow. So yeah, so we'll shift gears a little bit here and have another kind of uplifting experience, which is our chanting. And it's going to be led by Nalini, and she's going to tell you about it. I'm just going to put up on my screen real quickly what we're going to be chanting for those of you who have not been here. And it's Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. And take it away, Nalini. And so we're going to all stay muted, and she'll explain why. Thank you, Nalini.
Okay. So we're going to do about 10 minutes of chanting. The mantra Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva, which means I bow to the inner self. For the chanting, we do ask that everybody stays mute because it just doesn't syncopate very well. So I'll be the lead chanter. You'll hear me chant, and then Radha will be the lead responder. You'll hear her respond. And when Radha responds is when you all will respond as well on mute. But since you're on mute, I encourage you to chant as loud as you can. Because it's just fun. I also like to put everybody in gallery view. That's up at the right hand corner of your Zoom screen, and that way you can see everybody and it's like we're together. So if that makes sense to everybody with the mantra Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva, we'll get started.
Yeah, so Nalini, just one thing, just when you're in gallery view, it's great because it doesn't matter about the recording. Like you'll see everybody in gallery view, but my screen still sees you, and Radha is going to be your lead responder. So whenever she's doing it, and so at the end, just one of you finish because you can't both chant at the same time. You know what I mean? Okay, thank you.
All right, great. Sadgurnath Maharaj Ki Jaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Shiva. Sadhguru Maharaj ki jaya.
Wow. That was great. Thank you. Thank you, Nalini and Radha. Wow. So glad you guys could do that. It really is just so much fun to do it and feel it. You know, that's the best part. It feels so uplifting. Thank you. Bow to my inner self. I love that. So before we wrap up, let's see. We have a few announcements of upcoming events, and I have a couple. And then if anybody else has any, they can just raise their hand and make those announcements. So next Tuesday, October 6th, we have an event here at the Transformation Center, and it's going to be led by Jody Keston, who is a yoga and meditation teacher. And it's going to be live in person in the backyard, socially distanced, and it's called Mantra as a Path to Inner Peace. So I think it's going to be really, really, stimulating and uplifting at the same time. And I think you'll learn a lot. I know I will. So hope you can join us there. It's on Facebook, or if you don't have that, just email me. And then the following week on Wednesday, October 14th, will be our next in-person satsang, which, as you know, we've been trying to alternate doing in person and on Zoom. And this one is going to be up at Sticks and Stones Farm in Newtown. So that's going to be hosted by Bill Donaldson. And the theme is Love is the Answer. And I think it's perfect for that venue because Bill is also the founder of a nonprofit organization called Love Has a Home Here. So I think that's going to be a really nice evening. And the next Zoom satsang will be the end of the month, October 28th. So we'll be back on Zoom. So those are three things coming up. And I don't know, Nalini, do you have any announcements about any shamanic things you want to let us know about?
Yeah, definitely. So pretty exciting. We're gonna restart the Mystery School of Self-Mastery and Shamanism's shamanic clinic. We are doing it over Zoom, so it will be long distance healing. That's gonna be Tuesday the 13th. It's the second Tuesday of every month. You will be able to sign up for the session through the website at selfmasteryandshamanism.com. They're half-hour sessions, and it's just like a mini shamanic session. And you'll work one-on-one with the practitioners. So Katie's a shamanic practitioner that is in the clinic, and Radha's daughter, actually, Lucy, or Sachavati French. She's one of our other shamanic practitioners that participates. So I look forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, great. And I'll be publicizing that as well, so you can find it on my social media. And also, Nalini, I just want to give you a shout out and acknowledgement for the role you played in the recent shamanic immersion class that Guru Devi, How You Running Deer taught. I heard you did a fabulous job, and that there's a lot of new shamanic practitioners that were just certified from that 5-day course. So that's really great.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a really great experience, and I was amazed how well it worked over Zoom. Radha was there too. Did you feel that way, Radha?
Yeah, it was a wonderful experience. It was great. Great to be in a group with people and be able to see their faces too. I
That's
really
right.
enjoy.
All right, super. Well, thank y'all. Are there any other announcements from anybody in the, well, actually, we'll do that at the end because you're on mute. So I'll wrap up with a blessing for everybody from above. And thank you all for being here. It was, I think it was a wonderful evening, and I really feel the energy of everyone who was here to participate. And I just am getting that it is important for us all to know that we are loved, we are worthy, we are perfect the way we are. And that, you know, whatever comes our way, we are loved, we are strong, and we can ourselves. And then, you know, as Radha expressed so beautifully through her guided visualization, we can then send our love and our healing to everyone else on the planet and raise the vibration. You know, we're all light workers, all bringing more light to the planet. I feel everybody here has so much to offer. And you're just now, you know, coming into your own. And we're so appreciative of your being here with us tonight and always. God bless you. I love you. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording and then we can open it up for